And now that we got these drills fully restored, we're going to shoot them out head to head and find out which one's more powerful once and for all. Hey everybody, it's Tony from the Handlebar Workshops. Today we're in the garage workshop. I'm going to be working on restoring some antique hand drills that I've gotten throughout the years that have just been sitting here. This one in particular was very rusted. Couldn't see anything of the actual metal with all the rust on it. So I wasn't sure if you're going to see this video or not because I wasn't sure how they're going to turn out, but I'm quite impressed with how they turned out. On a recent estate sale trip, I picked up a bunch of bits and braces here, well, brace here, and then a hand drill, and then a bunch of bits. I'm going to try and restore these a little bit, maybe walk you through the process, maybe pick up some tips. Now the bits are nice and easy, just throw them in some Evapor Rust, not sponsored, and then we can just pull those out and clean those up. So we'll get those out of the way. Now this one, it's really hard to see in here, but this is a Craftsman 1071. Found some places online that suggest that it's 107.1, but sometimes the rust makes it hard to see the point. I guess they've got a point. Also, you can see there's supposed to be a place here that screws down here to store bits. That is gone. Still use it though. It was dirt cheap. Well, the brace is a bit more interesting. I can't find out what it is. There doesn't seem to be any markings on here, but it could be just completely covered in rust, and I may need to wait until I get all the rust off to see what it is. But it's got this interesting chuck up here. Yeah. Jaws come out like that. I think it's a John S. Fray from what I found online. It looks like a John S. Fray. It's got the exposed ratchet wheel here. It's got these kind of jaws and this kind of chuck with the collar here to adjust the ratcheting here. The ratcheting works just fine. Nice and quiet and smooth, and locks nice and tight in both directions, and the collar works nice. But I have no idea how to take this apart and clean it out inside because there's a bunch of sawdust and grease and oil and stuff in there. So I'm going to do the best I can with this. Now this I can take apart pretty much and use it and throw it in some of the Evapor Rust here. This one not so much. I can get the head cap off here at the bottom, but I can't get this off. So I don't want to throw this whole thing into Evapor Rust. So I've got some navel jelly here, which will help get rid of all the rust all around here. Not sure how to get that out. Alright, so I finally got this apart. Now the two pieces. This is all one piece here, so I'm going to put this in the Evapor Rust. And you can see down inside there, that's where the chuck pieces are at. Kind of see there's like some wires that kind of come here. Those are actually hooks. Gently, gently, because I don't want everything to go springing away on me here. Alright, so that piece is done. That can go in the Evapor Rust. Alright, you can see I have one chuck piece fall off already. You can see there's a little hook in here. Alright, so now you can see that there's two holes here, one in the top and one on the side here. Got this little J hook here. So it just goes in and threads into that little hole on both of them. And then this wire just kind of goes along in that channel here. And it's basically just a hook that kind of comes out, just like that. So now all those can go into Evapor Rust. So So I kind of messed these up a bit, trying to get that out. I had to drill that pin out. Just so you know, if you've got one of these Craftsman, these are threads up here with a pin through the center. That's a pain in the butt, let me tell you. But I got it off. Now I got to figure out how to make this work again. It's not really supposed to be a collector. It's just something I want to use. You don't want to just start hammering on these because I read that some of these will actually screw off of the cap here. This one does not. There's no threads anywhere on here. It just lifted off. I just had to tap it gently off so I didn't break any of the wood. This one's a little squeaky. We can't take this one off. It's got peened on here with a washer. So that's kind of flattened over here and it won't come off. But there is a hole down here for putting oil in once we get it back and up and running. We've got a lot of rust to remove up here, so we'll take care of that as well. Alright, so now the naval rust has been on here for about 20 minutes. I'm going to take it inside and rinse it off in the sink. Don't tell my wife. A little trick I learned by the Wood by Wright channel. Use a chisel. Just use kind of the edge here. Start scraping off the finish. It comes right off nice and easy. Heck of a lot easier than sanding. I'm not using the tip at all. I actually got that protector on there. Just using the sides. It's kind of sharp right here, but not too sharp. It's not going to cut you or anything, but it's sharp enough to take the finish off. So here's everything after they've been buffed up on the nylon wheel. The ones at the top up here are ones that look like they were homemade. They got some weird shanks and such. And then this one's just straight up broke. I throw that one away, but I may keep it for something. And the other ones are the ones that have actual numbers and such on them. Now I just need to file them and start using them. It seems like I forgot to hit record when I spray painted these, but now you can see the final unwrapping. Alright, let me get you up to speed here. I found this chunk of wood, which I think is rosewood. I was trying to drill it with the hand brace, because this is a 15/16 drill bit right there, which is exactly the size I needed for the handle to go on here. Well, that wasn't going very well, because apparently it's very difficult to drill into the end grain of rosewood here. So I ended up getting this drill bit, which is a 1-inch drill bit, with my power drill. And I eventually got to the depth I needed. The only problem now is that we used a 1-inch drill bit on here. Yeah, and it just falls right off. So you might be able to see I am really thin right here. It's pretty close to busting through, and it's pretty thick over on this side. I got a 1/16 of an inch I got to make up to be able to do a friction fit on that handle. So I'm going to show you how I go about doing that. It involves this piece of rosewood here and a plane. It's covered in wax right now because it's supposed to be for like a turning blank. So I got to get that all off first. So the idea here is to find some good curls, open them up carefully, and glue them onto the inside here. Put some glue down on a safe surface. Throw some shavings in there, soak up some of the moisture and become a little bit more pliable. This is going to get messy, so I took the cap and I did some masking tape all around the outside so I don't get any glue on here because I've already got it sanded and everything the way I want it right now. I can't really sand anymore because I'm going to sand through that side. So I can keep that as the outside as safe as possible. Also taking some clothesline clothes clips and put some tape on the ends there so I can get them in there and clamp these down. You have to build up the inside with something other than rosewood here. Got a lot of cherry shavings down here. There, now I can just let that dry. Now we have the handle itself to deal with here. It went all the way through, but it didn't come out the back, so I had to drill it all out, and things got all messed up. Anyway, I need to fix that. So I'm going to get it in the vise facing this way, so that my holes are perpendicular to the bench here. I'm just going to take a file, start working my way down in there. The problem is that those are all kind of jagged, and it's going to be hard to replace those with anything, glue anything in there. So it'd be better if I can just get like a rectangular shape to put the wood into. Now you can see I got a nice rectangular cross section there now. I can just cut a piece off of my chunk over here and start fitting it in there the right way. It's a little big to fit in there, but there's still some wax on this side that I got to remove and flatten this side out a bit too. My wife offered to sew up a drill bit roll here, and that keeps the ends from being chipped by knocking into each other and stuff like that. So it works out pretty well. And I think it looks pretty cool with the actual drills themselves. So if you enjoyed this episode, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. And I'll see you in the next one.